thing.
What's that?
That nervous thing you're talking about.
That's the nervous thing. Was that nervous laughter? Alright, I think we're rocking and rolling. I think we're rocking and rolling. I think nerves are good.
Yeah?
I think so.
Okay.
Okay! Demelza Tabor. Thank you very much for joining me on the No, honestly, thank you for agreeing to do this. I'm not going to cut this out, by the way, so it's going to be like the first 5 minutes you're laughing.
Absolute pleasure.
What, for laughing or? Okay, yeah, cool. Okay, good. Might be a bit closer. D.
Yeah.
How do you meet?
So we met at my dad's field at a festival called Whirly Fair, which you went to Whirly gig for years, and I had never heard of it until suddenly the festival was at my dad's, and then that's where we met.
Yes. What was my famous little line? What did I say? What was my beautiful, lovely, line that I said?
I can't remember.
Can't remember.
Have you something?
Do you?
Do you come here often?
I was so nervous, and that was the first thing that came to my head. That was the first little thing. I like saw your eye over the dance floor, and we started looking, and then I thought, right, I'm gonna go really smooth here, and then that thing popped out. How cheesy, huh? How cheesy.
Cheesy. Grew up there actually.
What's that?
Grew up there actually. Come here quite often.
It's my garden, isn't it? What? Oh yeah, I'll stop doing that. So yeah, we met at Whirly Fair, didn't we? And then it was sort of like, it was a bit on and off for like a year, wasn't it, or something?
Yeah, I moved to London, and which is obviously where you were, and then you went travelling for 4 months.
Yeah.
And
So
then
South America, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you came back, and then we lived together.
We lived together in Tooting. We yeah, it was an interesting house, wasn't it?
Mm.
Interesting little place. You weren't really a fan of London, were you?
No.
No. What was growing up in the country like as opposed to growing up in London?
A lot freer. A lot. I found it a lot safer.
Okay.
Just more like exploring to do, more green, more being able to run around.
Mm. What liberating.
Friendly people.
And you thought London was the kind of opposite of that?
Yeah.
So it can be a pretty harsh city, can't it? It can be a very kind of unforgiving one, especially when you're used to, all this lovely green space and this lovely like open land and freedom, and then you're thrust into this concrete jungle. Yeah, so it wasn't the best time in it in London.
Not for me.
No. And so then I think we're actually sitting down on the bed once, and then you just popped the idea in the head. You were like, yeah, why don't we get a van and let's just go to Australia? And then me being a kind of, the kind of, I don't know, opportunist, be like, yeah, that's a great idea. Let's go. Let's do it. So we went to Australia, didn't we? Mm-hmm. Had a little time. How long did we spend there? Do you remember?
Like a year.
About a year, wasn't it? Mm.
Yeah. A year in the van.
A year in the van. Did you like the van?
Yeah, I love the van. It's so nice living in such a simple life.
And it was the freedom too, isn't it? I think as well,
Yeah.
the freedom to drive around and Just like pitch up in one spot.
Yeah.
What did you like or dislike about Australia? What were your kind of highlights of travelling in Australia?
Beautiful beaches. I really like Melbourne, which is a cool city. We met some great travellers, didn't we? But yeah, it's pretty good. I think towards the end we started to not enjoy it, but looking back now, I think we did have a great time.
Yeah.
I think we were just a bit unfortunate with some of the Australians that we had to work with who weren't that great. But looking back, that's just a tiny part of what we did.
Yeah. Duncan was lovely, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Duncan was really sweet. But yeah, the other kind of bits, they weren't so great, were they? But it's tricky, isn't it? Because it's that natural thing that the grass is always green on the other side. It's always like, oh, we kind of could be somewhere else, and I think that's what we kept doing. We kept visioning ourselves at the next place rather than being happy, in the next. Which I think kind of sums up my life in general, don't you think? My attitude.
Possible.
One day, Dee. One day I'll be settled and have my thing. One day. Not today. Or in the near future, one day. And then we went to New Zealand, didn't we? Did a bit of travelling around there.
Yeah, via
We can say it. It's fine. It's fine.
New Caledonia, Fiji, and Tonga on a cruise.
On a cruise. It was the cheapest option, wasn't it? Really.
Cheapest and better for the environment, actually.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I thought it was. I thought it was.
No, it's better than a plane.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I don't feel as bad being such a glutton and a. I mean, it was a strange experience. The cruise, isn't it? The cruise experience. It was a bit of an odd one, wasn't it?
It's worth it though. The countries are beautiful.
Oh yeah. Tonga. Tonga was stunning. Apart from my sunburn. we went out we went snorkeling, didn't we? We went out snorkeling and I thought the water might protect me from the sun's rays, and it just magnified it.
So clear, wasn't it? And the whole floor was covered in starfish. All different colours, wasn't there?
It was like red and purple, and
that was amazing.
Yeah, especially that island as well, that New Caledonian island. I think it's called Lefasu, something. Not sure, but that was magical. That was beautiful. And we actually cycled around some, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. We got some pretty weird looks from people on the cruise when we were like taking our bikes off, and you got all these people looking at us going, "Hey." So I think we might
set a trend.
Yeah,
actually.
Literally. And then we arrived in Auckland.
Yeah.
And
cycled for 6 months.
Pretty much every night in a tent, no?
Pretty much every night in a tent, apart from a week in an Airbnb.
Yeah, where I recovered from the sunburn.
Oh, I was talking about when I recovered from my accident.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to talk a bit about that?
It was on a cycle path, wasn't it? Completely in the middle of nowhere. And the rubbly track was getting wobbly and wobblier. You had whizzed on down and it was just getting really, really wobbly, and all of a sudden, boom, fell off, hit my head, got a really bad concussion. Right then, you found me. And realised that something wasn't quite right when I kept repeating myself. Didn't I go and wash my face in the river? Because my whole face was smashed, wasn't it?
That scar
and my nose. Yeah. And I went to wash my face in the river, and then came back to sit with you. And then I just said, I'm just going to wash my face in the river. And you were like, you've already done that.
I was like, either she's got short-term memory, or I'm not sure what's happening here, but yeah.
And then the ambulance came and we got a night in a nice hospital.
It was luxury, wasn't it?
We had a shower. It was brilliant.
Compared to cycling some nights and not even be able to wash. And
Oh yeah, our tent was a 2-man, but it was basically a 1-man.
yeah.
Yeah.
Got to save on the white.
Got to save on.
Do you know what though? For this cycling trip though, I've actually got a 2-man. I've actually learned from mistakes. I've got like a 2-man tent with like space and.
Well done.
Yeah. Sorry. What were your favourite bits about cycling? What did you most enjoy about cycling New Zealand?
Being in a new place every single day. Just the beauty of it. New Zealand's so beautiful. There wasn't a day where we didn't have a beautiful day. And not having, like, we just took every day as it came. Had a rough plan, but didn't have to. Well, there's not actually many roads, is there, in New Zealand? So we kind of just took the roads that we needed to down to where we were thought we would be heading.
I think it was just such a vast array of beauty, and such a difference in beauty. You know, at one minute there was mountains, then there was this secluded beach, and then there was rainforest or jungle,
lakes, black sand, geysers. Yeah,
volcanic kind of bits and hot springs, and
it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a stunning country, wasn't it? It was just a bit far, wasn't it? It was just like it's quite a long way away, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. If it was closer, I'd consider living there.
Good pause one second. I think the phone might have stopped recording. Still on charge. Yeah, cool. All right. Take it to.
Where do we get to?
Let's think. Sorry for that little interlude. I just had to delete some videos off the phone so there's got enough storage in there. My goodness. Good job for the beat though, isn't it? We were talking about New Zealand. We were talking about
its beauty,
the vast array of beauty. We were talking about volcanic sand.
If it was closer, we'd live there.
Yeah, that's what we said, didn't we? Yeah, if it was a bit closer to home, then we'd live there. But it's just a bit far away, isn't it? It was a bit far away from.
Just a little bit too far.
Yeah, because you know I mean the place is just so beautiful and so stunning, and it's a very kind of outdoorsy place, isn't it? It's a very active.
Yeah. And everyone's so friendly and lovely.
But it's just that thing that if something happens to your family member or something happens, then it's like a day flight home, and you know. Could be in excess of $1,000 of a flight, depending on if you need to book quick enough. Do you know what I mean? It just adds that extra. Yeah, a bit difficult, doesn't it? Really. But yeah, I think I don't know about you, but I think I'd recommend, like if someone does go to Australia or over that way, I mean, just pop over New Zealand.
Definitely, yeah, for sure.
And go where would you recommend people to go? Obviously, well, do it all, but would you say North Island, South Island? What would be your?
I don't think I could choose an island. They're so different. I think one of the highlights was Lake Pukaki. It's that amazing, incredibly blue lake, and also the walk that we did with my dad and Claire, the hike where it had the Tongariro crossing with the 3 different coloured lakes. That was cool. And also, what was the place called that we stayed because of my accident?
Oamaru.
It was a really interesting town, wasn't it? It was like stepped back into the
Victorian times.
Victorian times. People were on penny farthings.
literally down the road as if it was a mode of transport, isn't it? Just penny farthings around the place.
It was so surreal. To be honest, I'd recommend anywhere we went in New Zealand.
Yeah, I think it was pretty lucky that we'd like both earmarked New Zealand as a place that we'd always wanted to visit because we'd always heard so many good things about it. And it's funny, I think, because when you kind of go to a place that you've got expectations of already, it's very hard for a place to live up to them, if not exceed them. I think because what I mean, you have that previous expectation of what it could be and should be. But in my personal opinion, like New Zealand just smashed it out of the water. Like it went above and beyond what I even thought was possible.
Yeah.
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 And the people were so friendly as well, weren't they? They were just lovely.
Yeah, people are great.
Yeah.
And Wellington's a cool city, isn't it?
Wundy Wellington. Quite hilly though, eh?
Yeah.
and the wind is so funny because you can like turn the corner, just off any sort of high street. And if you hit the wind the wrong way, I'm not even joking. There were people like battling against it. They were like, their hair was flying. They were going head first into it. It was quite something, wasn't it? Yeah. And then where do we go from there?
Then we came back to the UK.
Yeah.
And stayed at my dad's for a bit, didn't we? Until we found work.
Mm-hmm.
And then moved to Frome.
What about Vietnam?
Oh, Vietnam.
What about Vietnam? How can we forget about Vietnam?
Well,
I mean, easy forgettable.
We did go to Vietnam for a couple of months. Wasn't really our thing.
No.
We were planning to teach English, but it wasn't really our. Hanoi was too busy and loud and just not our thing.
Especially if you dislike London and London's not your thing, then to go to a place that's bigger and more polluted and more grey and more rainy.
So polluted, wasn't it?
So polluted.
So much smog.
Do you remember that? Do you remember the Lake Tahoe?
Yeah.
Yeah. We like got it one morning, and we were like, oh, that's a lovely mist over the lake, isn't it? Nice morning mist. We realised that it was bike fumes.
So we left.
But do you know what? It's such a shame though, because I was talking to someone about this the other day, and like the rest of Vietnam, if you drift out of the big cities, because a big city is just a big city, an Asian big city is just a separate thing altogether. But if you drift out the big cities, then you get to see Vietnam in its full beauty. And a place like Hoi An and all those kind of places, they're stunning places to visit. Get a nice bit of culture, and it's not as crazy and wild. But yeah, Sav didn't like Vietnam either. He was just he had enough of it.
I do.
Yeah. He said that he went to Vietnam where he felt it was very like, I don't know, it's like to the point and rude. And then he got to Philippines and it was like, oh, hello, sir. How are you, sir? Welcome, sir. And he was just like, this is better. So yeah, Vietnam wasn't sort of it didn't really work, did it really?
No,
it didn't work.
No.
So then we came back and moved to Frome, didn't we? Mm-hmm. Which is where you're currently residing.
Yeah.
In lovely Frome.
Yeah.
Go on. What do you say? No. It's not been plain sailing, has it? It's not been easy.
No.
In Frome.
No.
Because we came back, and it's pretty difficult starting up. Pretty difficult finding things. And then, one morning I was making coffee, and then I just heard this like scream, this wail from you. And I came in and I still to this day say it was literally like you were dying. I almost thought you were dying. It was the scariest moment of my life, because I just saw this the thing that I most loved in the world. Just I didn't know what was happening. It was very scary. And that was your first seizure, wasn't it? Yeah. What's it like living with epilepsy?
Scary. Just for it to just suddenly start when I was 24?
Yeah.
still can't really get my head around. And obviously, like, I was nannying for a little baby, so I had to stop. Suddenly couldn't drive, suddenly couldn't have baths on my own.
It's almost like your independence just...
Yeah.
Someone just got your independence and just went, that's mine now.
Yeah. But I wouldn't have been able to deal with it without you. And I'm so grateful for you being here and like allowing us to live, basically. And being on different medications and being on levetiracetam, and for it to be turning me into just not very nice person.
That stuff is, I think for anyone listening that does have epilepsy, or anyone that is going through, or whatever it might be, that stuff was just vile. I mean, I know it kind of works. Different people, different. It works well for certain people, but I think everything we read post that, it was just a vile drug, and it was just horrible thing. So I would definitely, anyone listening, just stay away from that thing.
Yeah, don't
stay away from Keppra. Was it Keppra, wasn't it? That was its short name, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah. Stay away from that.
Yeah. And now I'm on lamotrigine, which obviously I don't want to be on any medication, but I'm only having seizures every 3 months now, so.
I mean, that's good considering where.
Weekly or.
Yeah.
Apart from I had 3 in 3 days last time, but.
What do you think? Can you link it to anything? Do you feel there's anything going on in your life, or do you feel there's anything happening that you could link it to, or is it just a random occurrence? Or
I don't know. I still wonder whether, from my bike accident, whether that triggered something, and whether it just randomly comes. A lot of people say that it can be related to stress or anxiety, but there's a lot of times when I've been a lot more stressed and not had seizures. Like pretty recently, haven't had any. Yeah, I don't know. I thought they could be linked to periods. Don't think they are. I don't know.
It's just so tricky because I think 2 weeks before you had your first seizure, remember I was applying to work somewhere else, and then I went on like a training day, and it was a training day, and it was literally about epilepsy and about what it was and how it did. It was just very freaky that I went on that, and then you had your seizure. It was who knows the way the world works and the way the universe can bring things to you. But that was a stroke of luck that it happened. But
yeah,
the actual like definition of epilepsy is literally just if you have one or more seizures. That's how little they know about what it is.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah. And there's so many different types.
Yeah.
Like mine's frontal lobe epilepsy or temporal lobe epilepsy, which there's a lesion in my hippocampus, which people can have and not have seizures. So it's just a thing, isn't it? Some people have it, some people don't. Some people might grow out of it, some people don't. It's all just got a question mark after it.
Yeah, it's a big unknown, isn't it? Really.
Yeah. And just because the epilepsy can just be so different, each different types of epilepsy, and I wouldn't have thought that every time I have a seizure I'm then confused for a whole hour after. I don't think quite a lot of people don't really realise that it can be like that.
Yeah.
Like when I had one when my friend was here and I didn't even know who she was when I was coming round. So yeah, that almost scares me more than actually having one in case someone's here and then they don't know what it's about.
Yeah. What advice would you give for anyone who does kind of I don't know, just like start having seizures, or is going down a path of being diagnosed with epilepsy? What is it? Is there any advice you'd give someone?
To not be ashamed. That it's not your fault, and no one would think of you any differently if you had seizures. And just to still try and go out and about and not be anxious about what if I have a seizure. And just be in contact with friends and family. Yeah.
It's just from an outsider looking in, from when you first had your seizure, or your first seizures, to say what we're 3 years now, 3 years down the line, or 3 years down the line.
2 years.
And just from something that I've observed is that you've slowly started taking back your independence. Someone came in. This horrible thing came in, and took it away, and then you've slowly started taking it back. And it's with immense power that you've done that, immense bravery, and just never forget how brave you are, because you've taken back ownership of your life. You've started a business up from nothing, from the scratch.
Thanks,
and
Ray.
did it all by yourself.
Thanks, Ray.
So
yeah, I do feel like everything happens for a reason, for sure. And I think this did happen for a reason, because I hit rock bottom, and then I've just been like, fuck it, I want to do what I want to do. And now I'm doing my massage that I love, and it's going really well.
Yeah. Literally from I mean, what? So you did a course when you were at college, no?
16, yeah, 10 years ago.
16. And then very, I suppose in a way, very, very kindly, you kind of put it off to travel and to do those kind of things, for us to travel and but yeah, you came back to Froome, and you, like, from nothing, literally from what was the moment where you were like, you know what, I'm gonna have to start something, I'm gonna do this now,
I suppose it was because I couldn't nanny for little Sasha anymore, and because I only felt safe in my home, I was too scared to even go to the shops in case I had a seizure. So I was like, well, we've got space here, I'm just going to set up my couch and try and do it from home. And it's worked.
It has worked, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's more than worked. It's like, you got to think, you came to Froome, just just came to live in Froome, and now you're known, like you are known as the person for massage, aren't you? Don't be modest about it. Okay, be modest about it. I'm gonna say, like, there's not one person that's given you a bad review, that said it's terrible, it's just that you have this special, you have a gift, a special gift, and you're spreading it around Froome, and people love you, and people like cherish your work and your craft, your skill, your healing ability. Which is what you got, innit?
Yeah. Well, I'm just grateful to have found something that I just absolutely love doing. And I think everyone's got that somewhere, but it takes longer for some people to find.
Yeah. Amen. But it is, you're right though, it is in everyone, isn't it? It is there. That passion, that sort of, that thing that makes you get up in the morning and gives you something. It is there, isn't it, in people?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. With regards to your treatments and so you started off with just a couch and there was lighting and stuff. How have you adapted your treatments over the kind of course of time? What changes have you made? How have you improved it?
Just started adding little things like sound. Started using some kind of instruments in the treatments. Hot towels, a hot bed. Just tiny little things that are just nice little touches.
I think a lot of people talk about the small things, isn't it? It's the attention to detail, which is something you've got just bang on. You always have, and it's not just in your massage, but just in your home as well, in your presence, in the way you present yourself. You always think about the small detail, and that really comes across in your work.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's true. Thanks. Where can people find you? Where can people find if they're in Frome or whatever? Where can people find your massage, your business, or your?
So I've got an Instagram, Demelza.holistictherapies. Or I've got a website, Demelza Holistic Therapies. Or if you're just walking past, I've got a sign up beside my door.
You haven't, yeah. What's your favourite treatment to give?
It's really tricky. Probably either a full body aromatherapy or reflexology.
Okay. How would you describe reflexology?
So reflexology is done on the feet. It can also be done on the ears and the face, I think. But yeah, and the hands, obviously, because they're like the feet. And different parts of your feet relate to different parts of your body. And it's like super relaxing because your nerve endings are at the bottom of your feet. Yeah, it's just fascinating. Like you can see if you're tight in your shoulders by certain areas of your feet, or whether your mind is all over the place from your big toe being either hot or something's going on there. You can see if you're pregnant.
Really?
Yeah.
You can tell?
Yeah.
Serious? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And a lot of it can be just energy that needs to be passed through, but sometimes it can be something that's going on in that area.
I remember the first time when we were first, seeing each other, you said to me, you said, "Oh, can I give you reflexology?" And I went, "All right, go on then, here we go. And so you gave me one. And then this is very early days. We didn't even know each other really. We kind of did, but not like And you were like going around and you were like, "So you got a bad right knee?" And I was like, "Yeah." Okay, it's just luck, innit? It's a bit of luck. It's fine. And then you kept going. You're like, "Have you got a dodgy left shoulder?" And I was like, "Yeah, I might have fallen off my bike just recently. Yeah." And then you start listening to all these things, and I was just like, "She's a witch." She's a witch. Okay. Yeah. And it's just the most relaxing treatment. It is just...
It's really relaxing.
Insane.
Super grounding, really balancing. It just kind of sorts you out.
It's like a nice reset button, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's a reset button treatment. Yeah.
You have to be careful after, don't you? Because you get a little bit like... I don't know, I found after I've had a treatment, I just get very kind of like red-eyed and woozy and a little bit like... What do you most enjoy about giving treatments and about doing treatments?
Seeing someone walking not feeling great and walking out a different person, and just like being able to heal and relax someone, and for them to enjoy it and really benefit from it. And I'm really noticing that at the moment, from people coming out of lockdown, and for it to be such a hard time for most people, and being stressed, being anxious, being just lost, and also not being able to touch people. So many people have said, oh my God, this is the first time I've actually been touched by someone that's not my family member.
Wow.
Which has made their treatments a lot more powerful, because it's something they haven't had for a long time. Like, I bumped into one of my clients the other day, and she said that I was the last person who had touched her.
Wow.
Like 5 months ago.
And it's such a vital part of human nature, of human existence, isn't it? To touch.
It's so important. And it's the first language and the last.
Yeah. Because when you come into the world, you're received.
It's special. It's important.
Yeah.
It's so important.
When you think about people sort of dying as well, you think about the kind of like the last bit. There's always someone holding their hand, isn't there? When they.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is the first leg, and it's the last. So yeah, people can find you on website,
Instagram, yeah. Demelza.holistictherapies or demelzaholistictherapies.com.
Okay. And if you're ever in Frome, I would highly recommend coming down and getting treatment, because she is the best in it. Thank you, Dee.
Thank you.
I think the sun's on my side today. I got a lease of life, I feel okay. Need to call around, get them all out, jump in the car and get on our way. Cause there's love and there's strength in numbers. They can try but they're never gonna run us down. Speakers loud, it's like we're on a come up. Fifth gear but they're never gonna race us down. I'm alive on a high, blue skies, there's nothing better. Hands up, we're on a ride, hold tight, we're laughing together. Ooh, we'll light it up, and ooh, we can't be stopped. And oh, can't hear us coming. Oh, we take off and keep it running. Keep it running. Oh. Take a stop at the riverside, crack 'em open, pass around the light. Breathe it in and out, bring our guards down. Yeah, this is ours for the day and the night. Cause there's love and there's strength in numbers. They can try but they're never gonna run us down. Speakers loud, it's like we're on a come up. Fifth gear but they're never gonna race us down. I'm alive on a high, blue skies, there's nothing better. Hands up, we're on a ride, hold tight, we're laughing together. Ooh, we'll light it up, and ooh, we can't be stopped. And oh, you can't hear us coming. hear it's coming. Oh,